don't like it down here. Last time I was down here was... It was not good. Yeah, it was really bad. Alright, move this storehouse. Oh, okay.
扉が開かないや。鍵がかかってるのかな。おにゃい。他の場所を探してみよう。
The bathroom, I'm sure. It's the bathroom, I'm guaranteed. Nothing else here now. It's definitely the bathroom. I'm sure in the first game she did exactly the same thing. She left her panties in the bathroom when she did it.
ここ、トイレかな。お札も貼ってないし。変な匂いもしないよね。
The only bathrooms I've seen up to this point were unusable. Charms on the door mysteriously sealing the room shut. Bodies hanging in the stalls. But this looked to be a completely normal bathroom. Certainly the most normal I've seen since getting stuck in a place like this anyway. God damn it. Oh, this is the bathroom. We're not even inside, are we? What's that? There's a loose piece of wood on the ground here. Oh, fucking take it. Great, a piece of wood.
中に入れるのかな。
Try putting on one of the wooden stall doors.
誰かいますか？
I listen carefully for any hint of response, even going so far to hold my breath.
でも返事をされても怖いよね。
But there wasn't a single sound to be heard. The entire room was dead silent. The walls were made from packed dirt, after all, and there was a lot of moisture in the air. Effectively, this whole place was naturally soundproofed.
よし、誰もいないみたい。あ、
I backed away from the stall slightly and almost tripped over a fairly sizable crack in the ground, about 5 centimeters wide and 1 centimeter thick. I don't think you know that kind of math at your age, but oh well, oh well.
隠してもいいかな。よいしょ。
Finally, I was able to get out of these water-like panties despite being alone. I still crouched down and removed them as discreetly as I could. I then stuffed them tightly into the crack I discovered.
よいしょ。全部入らないや。布がはみ出ちゃうわ。
Who cares? Oh my god!
もっと大きく広げられればいいんだけど。
Throw it in the bathroom stall and close the door. Just, God.
どうしよう。そうだ。この木で隙間を大きくすれば。ゆかのこんな姿。お兄ちゃんに見られなくてよかった。どうか誰にも見つかりませんように。特にお兄ちゃんには。
Not that Oni-chan would be likely to wander in Nicole's bathroom, but it was possible given the circumstances. So just to be safe, I figured it couldn't hurt to pray that didn't happen.
でももうちょっと奥に詰めておこうかな。
Oh God, would you please just leave him alone and
誰か
go?
に見つかったら恥ずかしいもんね。よし。
My underwear was now totally buried and out of sight. There was no way anyone could come across it, even if they didn't know it was there. Satisfied, I stood up.
スースーしてやだな。でも濡れたまま履いてたらもっと気持ち悪いし。さっきから地震ばかり。ここ大丈夫かな。さっきよりも古い建物だけど壊れちゃわないかな。
peeked my head out of the bathroom and looked around.
誰もいないよね。お兄ちゃん、お兄ちゃん。
My voice echoed a lot louder than I was expecting. It actually surprised me, considering the wet dirt walls. I didn't think sound would travel that far.
怖いよ。他にお兄ちゃんの友達とか誰かいれば。臭い。手洗いたいな。
Began walking through the hall once again, this time a bit slower and more unevenly due to exhaustion. Sure, since we did that, let's save it. I don't want to do anything like that. I die again, so yeah. Just in case something happens and a bad end happens, it's freaking good. Oh, yeah, let's go to the death room. Seems like the most exciting place to go. Seems incredibly safe compared to any other room. I'm not gonna check the boys' room, I don't think anything's gonna be in there anyway, so let's just fucking skip it. Oh, we can go in there. It's not good. Oh, was the closet bloody like that before when we came in there last? I don't think we was. I don't think there was a body on there either. This is definitely... There are thoroughly decomposed remains on the table here. Based on general appearance and what's left of the deceased clothing, they appear to belong to a very young girl. Her name tag is still affixed to her chest. Okay. Buckets of blood. Skeleton remains. Yep. There doesn't seem to be any way to determine gender from clothing or blood alone, but there is a student ID name tag nearby, bearing a traditionally feminine name. Okay. There's a cabinet here that looks big enough to fit a whole person inside. It might make a good hiding spot.
誰か来たらあそこに隠れればいいかな。でも本当に誰か入ってきたら怖いな。早く出よっと。
Oh, fuck's sake. I thought it was exploring time, but I guess not. The door to the room suddenly slammed shut, and the inside of it was missing its doorknob, rendering it unopenable. It seemed to have been locked in.
どうしよう。何か取っ手の代わりになるようなものがあれば。
I gotta search for something now. Maybe to the table. It's a fairly large stone sitting on the heavy wooden table. Take it, yeah. That could render as a doorknob, I'm sure.
これで思いっきりドアを叩けば開くかな。
No, don't do that.
ダメだ。びくともしない。
What have you done?
大きな音を出したから気づかれちゃったかも。早く出る方法を見つけなきゃ。
I quietly and gently returned the stone to its original spot.
なんだろう。意識が苦しい。苦しいよ。お兄ちゃん。
Couldn't move any part of my body. I just fallen completely limp and my vision had gone black. I think this is about an ending, isn't it? I felt like I was being swallowed up by the darkness, and there was nothing I could do to stop it. It was seeping into every part of me. Nii-chan, help me. Oh, you little. Ah! I could. Oh, god damn it. Okay, so I'm guessing that's a bad end no matter what, since it closes on you. So do not go in the death room. Let's go to the end of the hall. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. That was my fault. I kind of like should have known. Should have known. Of course it was bad. Of course it was. I mean, how did that guy get down here so quickly anyway? I don't know, but you know, never mind. Maybe my darkness went to 100, that's why it was a bad end. Made a wrong choice. Nothing here? Nothing here? Wow, what a waste of time. We can go in. The door to this particular room was shut in ever so slightly, as if there was a breeze blowing against it gently from inside.
なんか開きそう。
Slowly and hesitantly, I put both hands on the doorknob and started to turn.
入れるみたい。よし、入ってみよう。出口につながってるといいな。ひどい匂い。
As soon as the door opened, even a crack, a powerful, horrible stench slammed into my face and twisted around my nasal cavities like a jet of water.
これ、何かが腐った匂いだ。
Well, it's the pool room, you know, with the body pools and the body's blood, you know. I was instantly feeling nauseous and lightheaded, as if I was suddenly deprived of oxygen.
もうダメ。早く出よう。水の音。水があるのかな。
I have a feeling this is another bad ending. Holding my nose, I stepped back into the room and crept over toward the source of the noise. If there was water here, maybe I could wash my hands, I thought.
お水、どこ？
My extreme thirst came back full force as well. Clean water was the greatest thing I could possibly find right now. I accidentally kicked over a bucket, spilling its contents onto the ground in front of me. Countless flies immediately flew out from the overturned... God, that's so annoying. From the overturned bucket and began swarming all around me. The buzzing wings sounded right up against my ears as if they were attacking me. It sounds like that right now to me. If you have headphones, try it, because if you put them on, you can hear it. It actually sounds like it's right in your ear. It's so annoying. I go in my nose and began... It's hard to talk when they keep flying in your ear. God damn it. I began flailing my arms wildly, attempting in vain to drive them away.
前が見えないよ。
As I haphazardly stumbled forward, I found my foot splashing in shallow liquid. Mere moments later, my hand came in contact with a wall and brushed against the switch. I heard a faint clicking sound and then... The lights blinked on and... Oh. No. The lights blinked on and I got a clear look at the room I was standing in.
何？ここ。
It's the pool room. You don't understand.
したい。
A large portion of the floor had been dug out into something resembling a pool, which was filled with stagnant, discolored water and dismembered bodies. The bodies were decomposing a lot faster than they naturally would. On account of the wetness, most of them had swarms of maggots instead of phases. Oh, several bodies had actually washed up on the ground outside the pool as well. Those few that still had limbs looked like they may lose them at any moment. Their torsos were swollen and black, and everything else was bone white.
なんで死体がこんなに集まって。
Closest body was spurting a sappy mucus from its nose and mouth, staring at me with an ugly, mean expression. Thick fluid coming out of it was reddish brown in colour, and it seemed to be a disgusting mixture of blood and dead bugs. Okay.
何の音？
Some sort of huge door high along the top of the wall opened up. I could clearly feel a breeze blowing through the room. It was a trash chute.
ここを登っていけば元の場所に戻れるかな。
You can. You end up in the first game. Wait. There was like how many floors were there? it was like a secret passage, wasn't it? Right, there was secret passages down this hallway, and it led into this bit. So maybe yeah.
今度は何の音？
was afraid of what might be coming through that hole, so I put some distance between it and myself. Its body is coming down on it. Something heavy fell from above and splashed into the pool, spraying my face with rotten, stagnant water. Oh, what? The body that had just fallen into a pool of water was wearing a school uniform. As soon as it touched the liquid, it began bubbling and melting into it as if a bag of ingredients tossed into a stupor. Well, tossed into a stupor. One of the pool victim's lungs floated to the surface, giving the whole scene even more of a sick, soup-like appearance. I dragged my wet foot on a dry part of the ground for a second or two, then made a dash for the door. As soon as I was back out in the hall, I fell to my knees in shock and I couldn't even move. The smell of death and decay was still sticking to me and still trying to shake its way into my nose. It was all I could do to not throw up on the spot. Hadn't eaten anything for hours, so I'm not even sure what I would have actually thrown up, but I still felt like I had to, more strongly than ever before. Maybe it would have been the best just to let it come out. I'm sure I would feel better afterward, but I honestly didn't want to see my own vomit right now. Not after all the disgusting things I've seen. I had... What? So wait, you don't want to see your own vomit because you've seen lots of disgusting things already, but what? What, you're gonna be sick because you can see your own vomit? What? It confuses me.
どうしてこんなことになっちゃったの？
At times like this, especially, I really long for my Oni-chan. If only he were here with me. I cried out for him as if in prayer.
Oni-chan, 助けて。助けて。
Oh, fuck's sake.
動けないの。誰かいるの？誰かいるの？
Sachiko, of course.
苦しいよ。
There was a little girl here with arm outstretched, begging for help. I rushed over to her side.
どうしたの？大丈夫？
She was faintly glowing. Didn't you see her? I mean, like, when you got up in that room, she was there telling the big guy to kill you, you know. You didn't notice that? You didn't see her? Okay.
この子、幽霊？あのね、お腹が苦しいの。お胸が熱いよ。とっても辛そう。床にできることは。ここ、怪我はしてないみたいだけど、痛むの？痛いよ。
All I could do for her was offer physical comfort. If I rubbed her back, maybe she'd feel better.
ありがとう。ごめんね。こんなことしかできなくて。ちょっと、楽になったの。そう？よかった。
The girl grimaced again, as if she were experiencing some new pain all of a sudden.
まだ無理しない方がいいよ。ね？うん。あなたもここに迷い込んだの？わかんない。気がついたらここで倒れてたの。気がついたら。ずっと寂しかった。そっか。一人で寂しかったね。 よく頑張ったね。
I gently brushed my hand against the little girl's face, wiping away her tears. I'd only just met her, but I already really felt for her. She had it a lot worse than I did.
あなた、
How?
お名前は？
How? I mean, okay. Whatever you think.
幸子。幸子。幸子ちゃんっていうのね。
This better not be a bad end, because it's going to piss me off again. I'll do it again.
うん。私はゆかだよ。持田ゆか。ゆかお姉ちゃん？お姉ちゃん？お姉ちゃんか。なんか、お姉ちゃんって呼ばれると照れちゃうなって。
I took Sachiko's tiny little hand in my own and pulled her to her feet.
よし、立てるね。
Sachiko's hand was so thin and light compared to my own. Not just light, it almost felt like it was completely weightless.
やっぱり、幽霊なんだ。
Sachiko noticed me staring at her, and I must have had quite a look on my face. This seemed to bother her, so I did my best to force a smile. I'm sure she was worried I'd leave her all by herself again. I wanted to make sure she knew I was here for her. She doesn't care, she's an evil little girl.
どうしたのお姉ちゃん。ちょっと考え事してて。ごめんなさい。
Sachiko lowered her head and looked like she was about to cry.
どうして謝るの？
If you're gonna kill me, just kill me. Don't do this long thing and then say bad ending. God damn it.
幸子、多分幽霊だから。お姉ちゃんと違うから。
Unless this is like a different Sachiko. Like in the basement one is this one, and up top is the evil one. I doubt it, but I guess that could happen.
怖がらせちゃって。ごめんなさい。
I highly doubt it though. It's gonna be she's playing with her.
よかったら、こんな小さい子を不安にさせるなんて。
I took Sachiko's hand in both of mine, turning to face her and quickly, and what did I say quickly? And ducking down a little so our eyes were level.
大丈夫だよ。幽霊は怖いけど、なんだかあなたは怖くない気がするの。怖くない？本当に？うん、幸子ちゃんは大丈夫。お姉ちゃん行っちゃうの
？No. I want to, but she won't. I did have to think for a moment, since I knew I couldn't take a ghost with me very far, but in the end I also knew I couldn't just leave her. 幸子ちゃんも一緒にゆかのお兄ちゃんを探してくれる？お兄ちゃん？うん、すっごく頼りになるの。きっと幸子ちゃんにも優しくしてくれるよ。Her head was still down, but her eyes were peeking up at me. She looked nervous, but for the first time since we started talking, she also looked hopeful. 幸子も一緒に行っていいの？もう一人じゃないよ。ゆかが、お姉ちゃんがそばにいるからね。Okay. Honestly, I was lonely too. I probably wanted her with me just as badly as she wanted someone with her. Ghost or no. さあ、行こう、幸子ちゃん。I turned to head back down the hall, but was stopped by Sachiko tugging on my uniform. She was wearing a full smile on her face, but still looked uneasy. What the fuck? お姉ちゃん、私の言うこと聞く？Good. 言うこと？言うことって？What was she going to tell me to do? I was so surprised by the question, I wasn't sure how best to respond. But the longer I thought about it, the more uneasy she looked, so... お姉ちゃんね、あなたのお話なら聞くよ。本当？うん、だから何でも話してね。 うん、 clearly something specific she had in mind, but I wasn't going to push her about it. She asked me when she was ready. She seemed satisfied with my answer and let go of my uniform, and so hand in hand we continued down the hall in search of my Oni-chan. This is not abandoned then. Oh, don't tell me it's like a specific fucking... Oh, good. Yeah, it's gonna go 100% if I search this now, isn't it? Skeletal remains, tiny stature. Yep, 100%. I'm fucked. It is game over. Game over! You fucked up! Oh, they were trying to scare me. Fuck.
お兄ちゃん、やっぱりここにはいないのかな。そうだね。幸子ちゃん、ゆかの他には誰も見なかった？
That's all she said, and then silently she squatted on the ground and wrapped her arms around her knees.
どうしたの？どこか痛いの？お姉ちゃん、寒いよ。寒い？
She nodded firmly, almost exaggerated. Okay.
そっか。幽霊でも痛みを感じるなら、きっと寒さも感じるよね。かわいそう。
As if to show me just how cold she was, she then started visibly shivering.
ねえ、幸子ちゃん、何かゆかにできることない？何か。そう、幸子ちゃんがこれ以上辛くならないように何でも言って。じゃあお姉ちゃんのそれ
She was pointing at my feet, whatever.
靴下？
This is the first time I noticed that SACHIKO was walking around barefoot. I was so busy worrying about myself and about finding my Oni-chan that I completely failed to pay attention to poor SACHIKO's appearance.
ごめんね、すぐ気がつかなくて。いいの。
SACHIKO shook her head.
私お姉ちゃんなのにもっと早く気づいてあげられればよかった。
Sorry. If I were Oni-chan, I would have noticed right away and given her my shoes. But it wasn't too late. I took off my shoes and socks and offered them to Sachiko. They were a little wet, but still better than walking on these cold dirt floors in bare feet. I didn't really like the idea of doing that myself, but just one look at this poor lost soul's shaking form convinced me I was doing the right thing.
ありがとうお姉ちゃん。
Sachiko just took just the socks, leaving the shoes in my hand.
幸子ちゃん、靴下だけでいいの？上履きは？うん。だってお姉ちゃんが裸足になっちゃうでしょ？
She flashed a gentle smile at me, which stayed on her face the whole time. She slowly put on both of my socks.
ゆかお姉ちゃんに怪我してほしくないから。そっか、優しいんだね、幸子ちゃんは。
I patted her head just like Oni-chan always did to me.
お姉ちゃん大好き。
Her smile had grown, it now stretched from cheek to cheek, and began to feel like I'd do anything at all to keep her happy. I wondered if this was how Oni-chan felt when I smiled at him like that.
頑張ろうね、幸子ちゃん。
Hang on a second. Despite the severity of the situation, I was in high spirits. I almost forgot just how horrible this place really was.
頑張る。うん、お兄ちゃんを見つけられるように。
Oh shit.
ん？幸子ちゃん？ 今何か言った？
I thought that was a giggle, but it sounded different somehow. Like her voice had changed to someone else's. Someone else was here.
ううん。
かわいい。むちゃくちゃしたい。
Is there two Sachikos? Like, am I right?
うんうん、何も言ってないよ。そっか、気のせいかな。
Doesn't sound good. Was it this they usually say in the movies? Must have been the wind. Not too likely in a stagnant underground bunker like this, but still.
きっと怖がりすぎなのかも。もっとしっかりしなくちゃ。お姉ちゃんなんだから。
By my bravest face, I can manage and march back out into the hall, pausing only to make sure Sachiko was still behind me.